Christy Lorette McCauley, the Wedding Planner Copywriter at weddingplannercopy.com. So today we're going to be talking about using headlines that get wedding couples, to hire you. So David Ogilvy said, on the average, 5 times as many people read the headline as read the body copy. When you have written your headline, you have spent 80 cents out of your dollar. So whether it's an email, a letter in the mail, or your business website, you have about 20 seconds or less to grab the attention of your prospective brides and grooms. And if you miss this opportunity, it may be a lost client opportunity that you never have the chance to regain. You have to learn how to create such compelling copy, such compelling headlines, really, and subject lines that they cannot help but click to open the message, tear open that envelope, or read on to find out more. It really all starts with an eye-catching, attention-grabbing headline. And whether you're writing an article online or creating a banner ad, if your headline does not grab their attention, no matter how great what you have to say is, they'll never know because they're never going to read it. So here's some tips for writing attention-grabbing headlines. And this works for email blasts, brochures, articles. Basically, these are some surefire ways to make your headline sizzle enough to sell and to motivate. First, use an interesting or thought-provoking question. So if you position your headline as an interesting question that engages brides and grooms, your goal is really to get them to respond in their head, or even to say something out loud in response to your question. And if they don't know the answer to your question, you want the question to be so intriguing that they end up reading what you have to say to find out what the answer actually is. So here's some examples. Do you ever wonder why it's important to ask wedding vendors these questions? Where is the money coming from to pay for your wedding? Do you ever wonder where your wedding money is going? So those are some quick examples. Second, get to the point. Sometimes the best practice to creating a killer headline is to get straight to the point. It really removes the need to be witty or clever or smart or even creative, and all it really requires is that you just state what it is that you have to say. Here's some examples. Subscribe today to receive free wedding planning tips. The Gold and Ivory sale. Save 50% on gold and ivory wedding accessories. Book now and save 30%. In this situation, it's just the facts. That's it. You can also be a source of information. Headlines intrigue wedding couples when headlines offer them information that they can use. So brides planning a wedding may be intrigued by 10 ways to cut $2,000 off your budget without giving up your dream wedding. Grooms may be just as intrigued by a title that states, get inside the mind of celebrity event planner, XYZ, to learn how to plan your wedding with insider secrets. Wedding couples may salivate at the title, 7 ways to entertain children at your wedding to keep them out of your hair. So by providing information to wedding couples, you become an invaluable resource to them. Grabbing their attention positions you as the wedding expert that you are. Another option with headlines is to go commando. And I'm not talking about in the underwear department here. So when it comes to creating a great headline, think what may come out of the mouth of a drill sergeant and then just write it down. So here's some examples. Increase your wedding budget in 30 days. Stop wasting money on wedding favors. Learn how to plan your wedding like a pro now. So another great way to build a fabulous headline is to use the what's in it for them approach. So many wedding planners make the mistake of listing out all of the features that their service possesses, but what your brides and grooms really want to know is how your service benefits them. So start on the right foot by using a benefits headline to make your point and hook them immediately. Here's some examples. Save thousands of dollars on your wedding. DIY wedding invitations in minutes. Get a free album with photo order. So let me ask you this. Have you ever glanced at the front covers of smut papers, as my grandma would call them, such as the Enquirer, while standing in line at the grocery store. So the headlines on those papers are so sensational that it draws you in to pick it up and take a glance at the stories inside, even if you don't want to admit that you do that. So a similar thing happens with pretty much any newspaper, that whether you're reading it online or you're still reading the hard copy. People may be rushing by a newsstand, for example, on their way to work, but if a headline catches their attention, they might stop and buy the paper, or at least start to read the story. Same, this is, true for those of you who scroll online these days versus reading a hard copy anymore. So a similar thing happens with any newspaper. Brides and grooms may be scrolling through their Facebook posts fast and furiously, but if a headline catches their attention, they stop and they click it and they read the story. Another option with your headlines is to make an announcement. So this can really make your headlines stand out when you make a big announcement. Wedding couples love big news. They want to be in the know about all of the great and sometimes not so great things going on in the world of weddings. So the same holds true for headlines for your marketing and your business and materials. So draw them in by making a big announcement. And it has to be good enough to get them to stop and read what you have to say. So, you can get a little creative here. Scientists may have found a cure for wedding planning anxiety. Now, that type of a title might have to have some science and some, surveys or research behind it when you go to write it. You can't just make it up. Unless you're joking around. The hottest designer wedding dresses have hit the runway and stores. Plan your wedding while driving in your car, hands-free, of course. So speak to the do-it-yourselfers in the crowd with how-to headlines, whether it's how to save money on booking a wedding venue or how to build your own wedding pergola. Brides and grooms eat up how-to headlines any day of the week. Examples: how to enjoy a honeymoon on $20 a day, how to build your own wedding pergola for under $30, how to find a wedding photographer in 3 easy steps. Creating headlines is the primary way that you can grab your potential customers and not let them go until they read what you have to say. Here's one more way that you can go about creating a headline that does just that. Let your satisfied clients basically do it for you. So these are testimonial headlines. They rock. You can literally turn a client's testimonial into your headline. It provides your readers with a third-party endorsement for the service you're offering, and it also gives your potential wedding couples insight to what other brides and grooms are saying about you and your business. So give your readers a bonus. And what I mean by this has nothing to do with giving away something for free. It's more about adding a specific detail to your headline that makes it a bit more intriguing. And this is where being a little on the wordy side, at least in your adjectives, may just come in handy. So here's some examples. 7-time bride plans under budget dream. See how the word 7-time makes this even more intriguing? This bride has been married 7 times. Holy cow. New idea may make wedding favors obsolete. Obsolete really stands out here. Frustrated bride writes a planning book brides need to read. So frustrated bride really drives the point home. So anyone who's a frustrated bride would really hone in on this particular headline. So some ways to grab them with your headline or subject line is to include bonuses, savings offers, ways to solve a problem. And here are some examples of bad headlines and ways that you can turn them into good headlines. So a bad headline: write better wedding vows. Good headline: 5 handy tips from former grooms for writing epic vows. Bad headline: plan an eco-friendly wedding. Good headline: 7 simple ways to make your wedding eco-chic. Bad headline: buy your wedding invitations now. Good headline: sail into September with wedding invitation savings. Bad headline: an effective way to increase your wedding budget. Good headline: the #1 secret to stretching your wedding budget. So headlines really pertain to any type of piece that you're writing, and when you are writing email copy, subject lines are really your headlines for that particular type of content. So let's talk a little bit about subject lines. So, subject lines. You may have something really important to say, the perfect service to offer them, or some life-altering wedding information article to share. But if you can't get the brides and grooms on your list to open your emails, then what you have to say ends up in the trash folder. So the great news is there are ways that you can massage your subject lines to increase your open rates. And it all comes down, again, to grabbing their attention. You have to write such a compelling subject line that their fingers are itching to open it. So first you have to keep it out of the spam folder. And there are certain words that flag your email and get it sent directly to the spam folder without paying $200 and without pass and go. But the good news is that there are some free online tools where you can run your subject lines and your entire email message actually through a spam checker. Lyris and Site Build It are two free online spam checkers that you can use, and each tool assigns your email a score ranging from 0 to 5, and the lower the score is, the cleaner, quote-unquote cleaner, your email is, and the less likely it is to land in the spam folder. Now, if the scanner finds potential problems with your email, it lists these items out, so you can go back line by line and tweak your subject lines and your email messages to decrease the score and keep the email from getting flagged as spam. So the second thing you want to do is you want to appeal to the reader. In reality, we all receive hundreds of emails a day. You, me, and the brides and grooms you're sending these emails to. This causes your potential clients to scan their emails for senders they know and subject lines that interest them. We all do it. So this means you have to write subject lines that are important to them, important enough for them to open it. And the more appealing your subject lines are, the better your chances are that they open it and read the message inside. So put your subject lines to the test. You may want to run some testing on your subject lines. So here's how you do it. Send the same email to the same recipients, but use two different subject lines. Monitor the open rates for each batch of emails to see if one subject line has a higher open rate than the other subject line. And if you find a subject line that works, mimic some of the characteristics of that subject line in your future email blasts. Now, subject lines are the first item in your email marketing that you have to tackle, and it's only half the battle, but if you can't get your recipients to open your email, then what you have to say doesn't make a difference. By creating subject lines that appeal to your audience and get past the spam checker, you start to get on your way with it. So once you gather your notes on what grabs your attention, and you can use this list to start testing things in your own marketing copy and materials. And in order to conduct a true test, do not try to implement all of the elements at once. So instead, implement one change at a time and measure the difference in response rates. After you write a compelling enough headline or subject line to get them to read more, you then have to back it up with the rest of your copy. So don't forget that part. So I'm offering a download of the 5 ways to create headlines that work worksheet. So I will drop the link in the box for you to click on if you're interested in grabbing a hold of that. Thanks for hanging out today. I'm Christy Lorette McCauley, the Wedding Planner Copywriter at weddingplannercopy.com.